And good morning. We're broadcasting live only on onedealaway.com/live. This is Money Matters. My name is Nev, and today is Friday, November 20th. Happy Friday to you. Boy, do we have news for you today. For one, do you know what this is? Probably not. And we're going to cover this very briefly. Unfortunately, I did take a look and I can't figure out how to trade it, but I will explain why I would even want to. We're going to be taking a look at what's going on with the interest rates. There was a news that just came breaking out recently about the mortgage rates, about the treasury rates, what's happening with the bonds in U.S. As well as in China, of all places as well. And of course, we're going to be then taking a look at what's happening in the crypto market. As you may know, breaking news, Ethereum has broken over $500 per ETH. This is the first time that this has happened since the last sort of bull up and then down. But even at $500, Ethereum is still about 50% below its all-time high, while Bitcoin is only a few percentage points because Bitcoin has broken over $18,000 yet again. But these are not all of the returns. We're going to be taking a look at some of the altcoins and their returns and what has been happening in the DeFi sector. We're going to be looking at some of the charts. For example, this guy right over here, we're going to take a look at, and this is the Ethereum chart. So we're going to be playing around with this and kind of what does it all mean. We're going to, of course, take a look at our little Bitcoin chart that we have been playing around and following. You see some of the colors have changed a little bit. I decided to go dark because everybody else is going dark, so I wanted to go dark too. I'm just kidding. Actually, it's much easier on the eyes, and I like how you can play around with some colors. So I got to fix some of the color stuff, but I didn't have as much time to do that before the show. Anyways, I do want to welcome everybody who is watching this live on onedealaway.com/live. Please say hello, sign in. If you don't have an account, create one. It's absolutely free. We're going to do a Q&A at the end, and for signing up for the free account, you actually get a free crypto 101 course. And so I think it's a win-win-win situation all around. You get to learn something, you get to earn something. I mean, you earn you don't earn money, sorry, but you will earn education, which is just as good as money, if not even better, because you're going to learn how to do some of the stuff, and I think that that's pretty rad, in my humble opinion. I also want to welcome everybody who is watching this on YouTube. Hello and welcome. Make sure you do sign up for the channel. If you like the show, smash the like button, please, and thank you. And of course, do hit notifications and alerts so that way whenever the new show goes live, which is just about every day, if not every single day, you get to notified that, hey, this is coming up. I gotta spend some time with Nev and figure out what in the world is happening with the money. All right, y'all, let's do this. All right, and good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get busy, because you might be wondering what in the world is this and why was he looking to trade it? This looks strange. Are these robots? Are these like washing machines? Like what is it? Are these Bitcoin ATMs? They're none of those things. This are the fridges. It's the demand for dry arse. Well, maybe for dry arse as well, but for dry ice. For dry ice is soaring. And why? Well, it all has to do with the vaccine, y'all, because they need to be stored at the super ultra cold temperatures in order to work. And of course, the freezers, the fridges, the dry ice, the price is going through the roof as they're all getting ready to store these puppies. And of course, we're noticing a shortage of the whole thing. Of course, we're noticing a shortage. It is 2020. It is a year of shortages for just about everything, isn't it? And so why wouldn't we experience shortage now for fridges, freezers, and dry ice? So if you're ordering meat from some sort of provider and all of a sudden you see a price being jacked up, it's potential that you're experiencing that because the cost of dry ice for them has gone through the roof, and of course they have to somehow recuperate those expenses, and so you and I get to pay for it. So anyways, that's one interesting thing, and I was like, "Ooh, could you trade this stuff?" You can't. It's not tradable. But hey, one thing about DeFi and decentralized finance, right, within crypto, which we're going to talk about in a few moments, we're going to be taking a look into that stuff, and you will very quickly discover and uncover that somebody somewhere will actually create a synthetic token out of the whole thing, and before you know it, you're going to be able to trade it on one of the dexes, the decentralized exchanges. So that's a possibility. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but we've seen the synthetic oil now, so like everything is kind of coming up, so you can trade just about everything on crypto, which is pretty amazing. Anyways, interesting thing when it comes to bonds is that the treasury yields have fallen since Mnuchin pulls the plug on Fed lending power. And of course, this just rolled out early this morning. And so what happened? Well, the treasury, the 10-year treasury note slipped from 0.36%, slipped to 0.836% at 4:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So while you were sleeping, the bond yields are falling, the bond prices are rising, and the yield on the 30-year treasury note fell to 1.547. And so here is kind of, you can take a look at what's going on. So there are some moves that are not like ginormous moves, but you got to think of, this is supposed to be the most stable of the stable markets, right? So you're not going to see crypto related moves here, because we're going to be looking at some stuff that it's like 20% and 200% and the crazy percentage points, right? You're not going to see any of that stuff here. Well, I mean, anything is possible. But if we start seeing that in the bond yields, boy, that's a very different pandemic kind of thing that is going to be happening. Of course, we do know that the 10-year treasury impacts mortgage. So what is happening? Well, yesterday the mortgage rates dropped below 2.75% for the first time ever, and now that the yields are dropping even further, I do expect, not a financial advice, not a prediction, my crystal ball broke years ago, but I do expect that the mortgage rates are going to continue to slide on down. So mortgage rates are going to be even cheaper, which could potentially continue to push the real estate prices up. Because typically in winter months we tend to see kind of like slowdown and stuff, but if we see a slightly less number of people going there, more people going in, the prices kind of continue to, the rates continue to slide and stuff, we could potentially see an unseasonably high interest in real estate even in the winter months. Now let's stick on with the bonds, because we do have another one coming from China. And there was an issue that happened. Well, a series of high-profile defaults involving state-owned enterprises in China led to a bond market sell-off last week. And of course, they started to default and people started to sell, because unless you are Robinhood kid, you get out of things that are defaulting and filing for bankruptcy. But if you're in Robinhood, hey, China, maybe you should put that in Robinhood, and somebody will buy it. People will buy it. Defaults are coming even as many asset managers bullish on Chinese debt have they've been pushing the calls on these investments, meaning they're bullish on the future, and have been pushing it because they're offering attractive proposition with their yields. And I was thinking, well, what are the possible yields? And the yields that I was able to find, I thought I highlighted it, maybe I didn't highlight it, was like 30%. I didn't highlight it. I thought I did highlight it. My apologies. I didn't. But yeah, high yield bonds is up over 31%. So these are some crazy yields, but this is like the high yield bond. High yield bond is equal to junk. Junk is junk. Junk goes into trunk, and you get rid of it at a junk depot. But then again, what do I know? Don't listen to me. I have no clue what I'm talking about here. All right. So, before we go into the crypto stuff and start playing around, you might recognize this logo. That's right, that's YouTube. Hey, you can probably see it right below it on my little you should subscribe kind of channel thing. There's news happening with the YouTube that you must know about, and my apologies in advance to everybody that is watching this on YouTube. We're going to have to implement the ads, y'all. I am being squeezed. I am being squeezed. I have talked about the fact that I was like, everybody's doing it. Maybe I should start doing it as well. I didn't want to do it because I was like, I would like to provide an ad-free content because it's so rare. However, this particular article is saying I gotta do it. And here is the reason why. If you chuck original videos onto YouTube to share with just your friends, brace for advertisements. If you're not a YouTube partner, Google-owned company can place commercials around or in the middle of a video you're uploaded so long as it's considered brand safe and suitable for general audience, which we are. You will not receive a share of the ad revenue. Ouch! I don't think so. If you're going to advertise, I kind of want to get some of the stuff. Right to monetize. You grant to YouTube the right to monetize your content. Agreement does not entitle you to any payments whatsoever, and starting November 18th, so 2 days ago, any payments you may be entitled to receive from YouTube under any other agreement between you and YouTube will be treated as royalties, which is actually absolutely amazing because those puppies are taxed at a way lower rate. And you know what? I can take all the royalties I want, and it's going to have literally like minimal impact on your taxes. Again, not a tax advice and depends on your personal situation. So now my accountant is going to say, I can't believe you just said that out loud because it's not absolutely true. It is not absolutely true. It will have an impact on your taxation, but royalties are typically taxed at a much lower rate than regular old boring income. The eligibility criteria to enter the YouTube Partner Program remains the same. Minimum of 1,000 channel subscribers and having accumulated more than 4,000 watch hours in the previous 12 months. Change will come to YouTube in other countries with respect to revisions in the middle of 2021. So there you go. Whether you want it or not, the ads are coming. There is no escaping it. So there goes that. There goes that. All right. Let's take a look at the markets, what's going on in the markets. And when I say the markets, I really actually am talking about the crypto. As you can see, we are at 18.20. Let me refresh. We're at 18.276 and 5 cents for Bitcoin, and it has rallied up 3.1% in 24-hour period, up 12.4% in 7 days. Ethereum is standing at 50504. And it's up 6.4% in a 24-hour period, 9.2% in 7 days. Of course, USDT is USDT, Tether, etc. It's flat and it shouldn't be moving. XRP has actually gone up quite a bit, almost 20%, 19.4%. Link up 14.1%, trading at over $14. Sorry, XRP is trading over 30 cents at this point. Litecoin is gone up quite a bit. 36.3% in 7 days, trading at $82.8. Polkadot is now over $5 for sure, 5.43, up 60% in 1 day, 23.7 in 7 days. When we look at the top performers, Waves is up 23.7% in 24 hours. Sushi is back on up 22% almost. RSR 18.7, Curve CRV 17.8, Polkadot 16.1, Uniswap 15.7. As you can see, things are definitely moving. On the dumping side, we have one that actually has gone quite a bit, and this is the empty set dollar ESD. I don't even know what this is. Negative 19.4% in 24 hours. Vita is down 7.5. Then we go into the STX, negative 5.5. Leo, negative 2.6. So aside from the SESD, there's really no giant losers. And when we look at the 7-10 gainers, Sushi is going through the roof, y'all. 142.9% in 7 days, followed by YFI 83.6, then Waves 72.8, Rune 64.3, CRV 64.3, and as you can see, we're having some serious moves in the Bitcoin market, in the Ethereum market, and the crypto as a whole. It's very bullish, very green, very much moving on up. And as you can see, DeFi is up and up and up. So let's start with that particular news story. They are showing some triple digit gains as we're still kind of like, Bitcoin's climbing sort of slowly, but we see that when Bitcoin's bullish, but kind of like slowly sort of trickling, people go into DeFi because then the excitement gets over there and you can get some ridiculous returns even without like the whole like staking and farming and everything else that you need to do. Although you can, but even just hodling these coins will prove to be quite amazing. And so let's take a look. Within 7 days, Aave ricocheted off its double bottom rally 214%. 214% gain with Aave. Curve, CRV, governance token, up 176%. Okay. Yearn Finance YFI token is making waves, going 83.5% in the week, and it's still far away from its all-time high, and there is a good potential that that puppy could go. We did talk about the shoulder head shoulder pattern, the reversal pattern. It looks like we kind of come at the bottom at 7,000 at the beginning of November. Now it's trading. I think last time I saw the price was like 27,000 something, 28. So those that bought at 7,000, they're up 20 grand. Okay, so this is exciting. This is very, very exciting. Sushi Swap is starting to switch spots with Uniswap, and more people are starting to go and trade over on the Sushi Swap from the Uniswap trades. However, Uniswap is still holding strong, so we'll see what happens. This is an interesting market right there because people tend to switch over from wherever they can get the most rewards, right? So that's one thing to kind of be very careful, is that whoever gives the most rewards, that's where people want to go. And so we're seeing interesting kind of moves happening within this market. Do be very careful. Yes, it's very exciting, but it's very, very volatile. It goes up, it goes down. Not a financial advice whatsoever. You do you, as they say. You definitely want to be careful. That's all I'm saying, and I think that's a good sort of piece of wisdom / advice, even if it is, as I always say, like nothing I say is a financial advice. All right, so as you can see, we've set some moves over here, with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, and ETH is up, for the first time over 800 in a long time, but ETH is outperforming Bitcoin. And it has over since the creation, and I think it will in this bull market as well. Year-to-date returns stand at 284% for Ether and 155% for Bitcoin. I don't know that anybody could complain with any of these returns, right? Typically in a standard market, in the non-crypto market, 8% is a good year. 20% is like an insane year where you have to pay gazillion dollars to some sort of asset manager to get you those returns, right? But then you enter the space where everybody can play. There are no, there are trading fees and stuff for the network fees, for the, gas and that kind of stuff. But there's no like $10 in, $10 out, $100 in, $100 out, like just for a broker to be able to actually go in and out. It's a minimal sort of fee that you pay to be able to trade these markets and look at this stuff. You don't even have to trade it. You just buy it and hold on to it for dear life. So that's why, yeah, hodl. So that's kind of what's happening within ETH. Let's since we are talking about ETH, let's go and take a look at the chart. And right here we're looking at the daily chart, and you can see here we go from August. We kind of hit the high a little bit here. We did break over it at this moment, and we're trading pretty nicely right now. Even the RSI is not like screaming super bullish, so that's a really nice piece. If we switch over to the 1 hour, okay, RSI is a little bit higher, and we did see some potentially parabolic moves. You can see that we've had a nice little like potentially like a bottom or support, I guess, at $470 level, right? We can kind of see the sort of like boom, like 4 different confirmations. So that kind of lets me know that this is a pretty good solid 470. And we've printed very nice candles in the 1 hour section. If you want, we can even take a look at the 15 minutes, 15 minute, and you can see. Let's zoom out to kind of see what's going on. We had the nice little drop over here. You can see again that 465, 470 range, that it kind of gives us a solid sort of support piece. I think this resistance right now is probably going to be a support at 480 potentially. I don't know. Anything can happen. But the nice part is that even in a 15-day, the 50, even in the moving average, the 50-day is over the 200-day. And that's very bullish. We're going a little bit sideways, which is fine. I think, when it goes continuously up, that's the scary part. But when it goes up and sideways, that's a very, very lovely part of the whole thing. And, I'm going to switch to 4 hour period and, kind of zoom out to see where we are and what's going on. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the daily. Where's the daily? Daily, because I want to see it from where it was. So this is the all-time high, or right over here. As you can see, it was it's kind of hard to see. It's like well over $1,000 right? And we've come down this. I mean, we've been at the bottom for sure, at that $100 level, hitting the 90 in March, and you can see that there's this beautiful formation giving us this is going to be a beautiful ride, I believe. Again, not a financial advice, but just the way that I kind of think about the whole piece. So that's something to kind of, I don't know if you feel the same way. Let me know. Put it in the chat, put it in the comments. I'm curious to see how you feel about the whole thing. Now, of course, we are seeing, some news that are coming in and saying, is there coordinated FUD within a mainstream media about Bitcoin, potentially? And they were covering Bitcoin for a while. Then, of course, when Bitcoin fell out of favor, they stopped covering it. Now it's starting to hit the mainstream media yet again. However, it's not all positive news. Oh, shocker. Wait. You want to say mainstream media doesn't do positive news? Yeah, they don't. They typically do negative news. And every so often, they say, oh, look how cute of a baby. So every so often you get to see something like that, but it's like a less than 10-second segment. Financial Times editorial published the elusive promise of Bitcoin. Fox Business basically came out and said, Bitcoin no match for gold in coronavirus world, which I don't know that it's quite accurate. So there's a lot of stuff coming in. The Financial Times focused on Bitcoin volatility, saying there are no fundamentals in which to base judgment of Bitcoin's value. Its current price just reflects what people are willing to spend on it. Well, welcome to the real market. Value is what the community decides that it is, right? We used to have shells as money because as a community, we agreed that that is money. Salt was used as money because we as a community agreed that that was money. Fiat, what is that? Well, it's because we bought as a society into the idea that that is money and store of value. So now you have a brand new community built for brand new ages that is going in and saying, we as a community agree that this has value and it's exchangeable and it's tradable. And you know what? Call me crazy, but I will accept Bitcoin for my goods and services. So if you want to send them to me, hey, I'll take it. And I think that very many intellectual individuals are going to come out there and say the exact things. So, and you know what? When we talk about the price discovery, I mean, at the end of the day, what is the price of a home? I mean, what is the price of a home? If I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, what is the price? If the price is whatever the buyer is willing to sell it for and the seller is willing to pay for it, right? That is the price. That is called the true price discovery. I can value one home at $1 million. You're going to take a look and say, I wouldn't put a penny on it, right? So what is the true price? Well, it's people coming in together in a marketplace and agreeing to what something is valued. So I don't know how Financial Times can miss that point, because that is what the true value is. True price discovery is that we can all go in. It should go on to somebody to say, well, this is the price of this. That's a communist way of doing things. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but seriously, that's what true price discovery is. So Financial Times, I mean, that was, I like the paper, but that was super disappointing to kind of take a look at the stuff. Fox Business also noted Bitcoin's price rise with apparent alarm and set about warning its readers away from investing in the cryptocurrency. Yes, price is going up. Yes, price can go down. Yes, there's volatility, but should you stay away from it? I don't know. I think that the market, right, like the stock market, poses much greater risk in the short and long term than the crypto markets. I truly believe the crypto markets are here to stay. I could be grossly wrong. Not a financial advice, as I mentioned before, not a legal advice, not a medical advice, not an advice. It's just my way of thinking. And here's the reason why. And I know they're saying like, oh, you should go into gold. Sure, gold is a potential, right? Everybody goes into it. But what is the value of gold? It's what people agree that it is, right? What can you do with gold? Well, you can't eat it, right? I guess you can trade it, but I don't know. I don't know that I can go to, Amazon and say, I will mail you my gold coin or gold bar if you will, send me the shirt, for example, right? Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, again, you let me know how you feel about the whole thing. Clearly, I get very heated up about it, but I do think that the regular markets are much scarier. And here is one of the interesting things that I think it's important for us to take a look at. Let me see if I can make this somewhat bigger so that you can actually see this. So you can see this. This is a chart of S&P futures, and you can see that we are entering a wedge pattern, or the megaphone pattern, sorry, right? Like where, it's opening up and gapping, but you can see that some of the money flow is going down. The RSI is indicating that it's going down. So we're seeing a potential divergence because it keeps hitting on this top part of the megaphone. And this particular individual said, despite things are looking strange in the technicals, yes, S&P 500 has printed an enormous broadening wedge over the past 2 years, a rare formation for an index, showing extreme indecision. Last time I saw this was in the Dow, and it was in 2000 and late 2008, maybe spring of 2009, something like that. Don't hold me to it, but that's where last time I saw this really strange pattern, and it was ginormous. And rare formation, right? The RSI and the money flow have both been performing consistently lower highs, while the market has continued to print higher. The S&P in its all-time high territory, and it could definitely head even higher. Fed will support the market indefinitely, but here's the problem. We just saw the news that Bucci said to the Fedi, no more, no más pantalones. Okay, so we'll see how that turns out, and that could spell a lot of trouble for the market. The reality of this chart is that the price action appears to be breaking above the broadening wedge pattern, while indicators continue to print huge bearish divergence. Whenever we have a divergence, there's a huge opportunity that you can make money or lose a ton of money. Paying very close attention to whether or not price can stay above a broadening wedge. If it can, there's a good chance that stocks will rip higher, which is what happened with the Dow, quite some years ago. If the price falls and falls back into the broadening wedge formation, I think the exhaustion of the market could produce a violent sell-off. And I think that I would give, on the probabilities, I would give the sell-off a greater probability than the price is going up. But it is 2020. Things are crazy, and every time I think that something should happen, the opposite happens. So maybe we should all do opposite of what I just said. No, don't listen to me. Please do your own due diligence, do your own work. Let's go back to the Bitcoin stuff, because there's some exciting news. If you will recall, not that long ago, I did talk about the whole, like, should you have Bitcoin in your retirement and how you can do that. And we talked about it, and you could do that with the self-directed IRA. The challenge with self-directed IRA is the cost to self-direct, because it's not really yours. You got to pay the custodian. Some of the custodians are charging ridiculous amounts of money. And so now, here we have super exciting news. DAIM has launched the United States' first employer-sponsored retirement plans that support investment in Bitcoin. Yes, you can get now employer-sponsored 401k retirement plans that support purchase and holding of BTC. BTC will be held in cold storage by Gemini Trust, allowing Dime to transfer Bitcoin to former employees who have left participating companies. They are compliant with Employee Retirement Income Securities Act of 1974, ERISA, and will be able to be offered by employers starting in 2021. So this is exciting. This is exciting. I am just curious how many employers will actually do it. And it will be kind of interesting to see. I do hope that many of them do. Whether people participate or not, that's their own personal business, but I think it will be kind of cool and interesting to see that. All right, we do have a couple more pieces of news. One of it is coming from, actually both of them are from SEC. One of them, SEC is given okay to a social media platform to issue stablecoin without registering as a security. And what do they have to do? They said, well, they are saying that they can issue their coin without registering for security. However, they cannot list it on the third-party network or have people depend on the third party to gain profit, and it needs to keep stablecoin from looking like an investment opportunity. They still have to comply with the KYC and AML, known as Know Your Customer and Anti-Money Laundering regulation, as well as having specified limits and having continuously available in unlimited quantities and a fixed price to the individuals. So that is the exciting piece. Now, another piece of the SNC is Jay Clayton. As you know, that he is stepping down as a chairman at the end of this year. But before going, he wanted to set the record straight on the SEC's opinion of Bitcoin. So what is that? Quote, Bitcoin is not a security, but a payment mechanism and a store of value. So there you go. If you were ever wondering whether it's a payment mechanism and a store of value, even SEC is agreeing with my little belief. And it's not just mine, it's many people out there as well. And finally, let's take a quick look at what's going on. Look how beautiful this is. It is going up and up and up and up and up. This is a 1 hour chart of Bitcoin. And let's take a look at what's going on. I have changed the colors a little bit, so forgive me for that. You will see that now we have, let me see if I can extend this just a bit. Hopefully you can still see it. Can you still see it? Yes, you can. Okay, awesome. So let's take a look at what's going on over here. As you can see, we've kind of printed up, and now we have this very, very strong support level at 17.7 or whatever, right? And so right now, you will see that the price is at 18,200. Could it go down? Sure, it can go down. We do seem to have a nice support. We did break below it just a tad not that long ago to like 17,345. But then we've come up since then, and we've been holding steady now inside the channel. Steady. We kind of bounced off of the 50-day moving average, and it's kind of going on up. So that's all positive news. If we go in and take a look at, let's take a look at 1 day. Within 1 day, this thing is a little bit more parabolic than I would prefer, but it is trading within a channel. It's just the upper bounds of the channel, right? I don't know. Control. There we go. So you can kind of see what is happening here in the 1 day, and then if we take let's go into the 1 month period. Boy, all right, there we go. You can see very easily that we've done some amazing stuff, and we are approaching very, very, very quickly the all-time high that we have had before. As you can see, the all-time high here was 19,900 something. Let's call it 20k. We're at 18.2, so we are only about $1,800 away from performing some magic in the market. So there you go. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed the show. I wish you happiest of the Mondays. If you have made money in any of these sectors, congratulations. Super excited for you. If you lost some money, hopefully you gained some education so that it at least feels like you got something out of the whole thing. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, but only if you smash that subscribe button, alert button, and at that moment I will see you. Until then, stay forever money blessed, and as always, as I say, keep remembering, you are only one deal away.